Intercepted, number 4, the quarterback, and touchdown, Bentonville!
Now look me in the eyes and put your hand in mine. Whatever's about to happen right here in this moment of time. So let's draw a line right here in the sand and let me say that on this very day is the day that we took a stand. Cause not just the game, it's more than the game, it's more than the hurt, it's more than the pain, it's more than the glory, it's more than the fame. This right here is about legacy, man, so it's bigger than me, it's bigger than us. We can lose sight in the midst of the fuss, let's slow it down and take it in. Enjoy this moment, what's the rush? They wanted bad, but we wanted more. This is what we've been waiting for. With tears in our eyes, we let our hearts roar. Unleash war when we walk out this door. We won't be delayed, we won't be denied. In the end, we won't be refused with clear eyes, a full heart. There's no way that we can lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes.
Hello and welcome to the Week 3 edition of the Tiger Football Report. John McElroy here with head coach of the Bentonville Tigers, Jody Grant. Coach Grant, good to be back with you once again this week as your team wraps up the non-conference portion of the schedule. You know, you and I talked last week. This week it was Rickards High School coming all the way from Tallahassee, Florida, and you and I talked about what that game would entail. But, you know, last week I was up here and I saw Coach Washington, the wide receivers coach here for the Tigers, and asked him and said, Coach, well, tell me a little bit about Rickards. First word came out of his mouth, speed. So tell us, how did you and the Tigers prepare for the tremendous athleticism and speed of Rickards High School?
That's a good question. It's tough to prepare for that type of speed when you don't have that type of speed all over the field. So what we did a lot of things. First of all, we worked on our tackling, open field tackling a lot this week. But as far as the scout team goes, we put one of our better athletes at the quarterback position in Nathan Lyons, and he gave us a great look all week. And we didn't have quick whistles this week. We wanted him to scramble around and do different things to our kids to work contain. And then ultimately, you just got to trust that they understand their angles and are prepared to make plays. And you know, there was some times throughout the week that we struggled with that, but as the week progressed, we got better and better.
Coach, I think that's really interesting. You talked about Nathan Lyons and that scout team. And the scout team is really an important part in preparation. And those guys maybe don't get a lot of credit that they deserve.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, it's hard to be on scout team all week because truthfully, your first group ought to truthfully dominate the scout team. Doesn't always happen, but it should. So whether you're the ball carrier or the quarterback or whatever, there's a lot that week that you're getting your head beat in a little bit. And those guys, they do it for us week in, week out. And the good thing about our group is our guys that are our Friday night guys, they understand their role and appreciate those scout team guys. And we've started, an offensive defensive scout team player of the week, which those kids are getting. And that's helped our program out a little bit. And these kids have kind of bought into being scout team players.
Well, Coach, we'll get to the highlights of the Rickards game here in just a little bit. But as I said earlier, you've completed now 3 weeks. The non-conference portion of the schedule is in the books. What have you learned about your team?
Well, I like this team. I think we got a chance to be pretty good. We've got a lot of things we've got to clean up. We've got to be able to, like I've told people before, like this past week, we're in the red zone, but we're not getting touchdowns. We're getting field goals. We got to turn those into touchdowns. But I like the way we're operating. I like the way we're spreading the ball around. These kids have proven they're going to compete Friday night, every Friday night, give it all, regardless of opponent. I like that we've prepared against quality programs. So, I like this group. I'm excited to go into the conference season.
All right, well, that's going to take us to our first break. But when we return, we'll go out to Tiger Stadium to watch the Bentonville Tigers take on the Rickards High Raiders. Back in a moment. You're watching the Tiger Football Report.
At Bob Mori Auto Body, we understand the headache involved with an accident or mishap with your vehicle. That's why we handle all your insurance claims. Our goal is to take a bad situation and make it enjoyable for you. We work on all makes and models with free estimates and have a lifetime warranty on repairs for as long as you own the vehicle. Get a crack in your windshield? Don't worry. Bob Mori Auto Body handles all windshield repair and replacement too. Bob Mori Auto Body, 1019 North Walton Boulevard in Bentonville, and our new location on Forest Hills Boulevard in Bella Vista.
At Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale, we understand that life is too short to spend hours in an ER waiting room. And we know that in an emergency, minutes really do matter. So our entire team is committed to working diligently to have you initially seen by a clinical professional in 30 minutes or less, because we think you should spend less time waiting and more time feeling better. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, only at Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale.
All right, we're back here on the Tiger Football Report. Coach, another great crowd at Tiger Stadium. This is always fun to see, and you won the toss deferred.
Yeah, we deferred. We want to put them out there and kind of get after them a little bit, which our guys did. I felt like we needed to see what our guys need to see what their speed's all about, and we had a great stop, and here we are getting a chance to get the ball to our offense. We opened with a little trickery. The kids we kind of talked about this all week. We've had some success with this play right here. It's called, we call this mascot, and it's a fun little play, a little reverse throwback to, it's actually a tackle eligible. We ended up hitting the backside post to play, and it's always fun to start the game like that.
And Coach, that was number 8, Chase Hunter, throwing a great pass down there to get things started. And I have to apologize. I gave Logan Darby on the radio credit for that one, but number 8, Chase Hunter, and what a tremendous pass.
Yeah, that was a great play, and our kids were excited about that. So here we are. 7-0, up 7-0 early in the game, kicking off to them. So our defense back out on the field again.
I tell you, couldn't have scripted a better start. A quick 7-0 lead, and boy, that's what you were talking about right there, Coach. You've got to be good tacklers in space.
Yeah, and our kids did that. They're flying around, they're trusting each other's angles and working together. And it's when you don't have speed. Like your opponent, you gotta use angles, and these kids bought into that and made some great plays. A great play by Kerry Collier here. These guys threw it around pretty good. Great break on the ball by Logan Darby right there. Having a lot of success so far as a senior back there at the safety position. Here's Jacob Clark, breaks a nice little run down their sideline to open us up. We opened the series. Our first 2 possessions offensively were really fun to watch.
Jacob Clark, I think another 170 some odd yards, another great game.
Yeah,
by number 19. And
here we hit Cam on on one of our little RPOs where he gets inside the linebacker and makes a play.
All right, you got to be feeling good about this. 2 drives, 2 possessions, 14 points, and defense is playing well.
Yeah, you feel good right now with an early 14-0 lead. You kind of hope a team that gets down early like that, they may start bickering over there on their sidelines and maybe shut it down. That was not the case. They competed. They came out and made some adjustments defensively that it took us a little bit to sort through. So we had to make some adjustments, but we operated pretty good.
All right, so Hayden Morgan once again another touchback there, and defense back out on the field.
Yeah, boy, we had several of those opportunities, so we gotta have those. Those are picks when they hit your hands. Look at the tackle form by Darby. He does exactly what we ask him to do, running his feet at contact, big time play, getting the ball back to our offense.
Well, this must have been something you had to prepare for right here. A lot of low line drive kicks, and those are kind of scary as a coach, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's very dangerous, and we had to change up some things in our return game, but we worked through that. Here we got a little tough snap, but Hayden recovers and gets a punt down. We got real good coverage here. It's always scary to punt it to these guys. Our goal was to not punt it right to them. Here you can show our kids flying around to the football again, doing good things. They got to having a little success in the run game there, towards the end, but we worked through some of that, made some adjustments. Here's another low line drive. They ended up pinning it down to the 1.
Okay, so now we're moving into the second quarter, and here we go. Ball comes loose, and scary situation, but Coach, they're going to give it right back.
They gave it right back. I mean, how fortunate are we there? They give it right back to us because they're down there in their red zone with some success, and we get it back and get the ball back. Our offense gets us new life.
And as we move into the second quarter, a quick 14-0 start, but things kind of slowed down here as we move into the second quarter.
Yeah, they did some nice adjustments defensively.
Well, what a run to get you out of the hole right here.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And Jacob Clark has really turned into a phenomenal back early in his junior year, 3 games in, and we're going to have to count on him throughout the conference season, as well as this guy right here, who's currently our leading receiver and doing things with the ball in his hands that he's very catching the ball every time and making things happen when he has it. So we ended up getting down here and got another roughing the kicker, which was big, gives us a first down. That's twice this young man's going out to kick a field goal and getting hammered. But he's a tough kid and battles back. We get out there and score, kicking our extra point.
Yeah, I think he got a roughing up in Rickards the opening game of the season. But now up 70-0, moving into the middle of the second quarter. Here we go again.
Yeah, that worked out good. We definitely don't want to kick to their guys to be able to return it, but so we want Hayden kicking that thing in the end zone.
And this is the left-handed quarterback. This is their junior quarterback, DJ Phillips. Pretty good arm on this young man, but Tigers able to do some good things in coverage. When you got corners like Carey and Tyrone on those sides, you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, that Seven's a good quarterback, and he had a lot of success throwing the football in previous games as well. So we were prepared for him, and here's a Cameron on a fly sweep. Like I've said for several weeks, that he's real special with the ball in his hands. He's got a chance for us. We're involving him in the offense more and more each week. Here's Casey sprinting out. Well, we had an opportunity right there to put one in. They ended up settling for 3. Like we talked to our guys, we're going to try to get points every time we're in the red zone. We'd rather it be 7, but we'll take 3.
All right, that brings us to the end of the first half with Bentonville on top, 20-0. We'll be back in just a moment with the second half highlights here on the Tiger Football Report.
Crane Hyundai of Bentonville is your hometown full-service dealer. Our sales department gives you access to hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles, and our award-winning service department is here to fix your problem quickly and get you back on the road. At Crane Hyundai of Bentonville, everything we do is backed by the Crane Commitment, including a 100,000-mile warranty on every new and pre-owned vehicle, and our 100-hour love it or leave it exchange policy. Come see us at Crane Hyundai of Bentonville, located on Moberly Lane in Bentonville.
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. All right, let's go out to Tiger Stadium for the second half of play.
All right, here we go. That's a big first down to Logan Darby. Well, they start bringing heat. We're trying to run a little tunnel screen. They bring a lot of heat. The ball gets tipped. Then they start having a little bit of success in the run game. We had to work through some of that. 6 ran hard out there. There's giving up a touchdown. They don't kick extra points. They usually go for 2. Obviously, you can see there by the score they got it. So now it's all of a sudden a ball game.
Yeah, so when that 20-0 lead felt pretty comfortable, but now the lead's cut to 12. This is an explosive offense. You just can't go over there and kind of rest on your laurels.
No, you can't. I mean, that's what we talk to our kids about. When you got a lead, we got to keep pressing. We can't just get comfortable with it. So, well, here's a big play by Casey and Clay, and this is an example of speed. Clay's really a fast kid, and normally would probably score with that, but these guys got tremendous speed, and that's a great play by him. Here we are trying a little jet tempo, hurry up after a big play. They took the ball right out of our back's hand. Now we give it back to them.
Oh,
great job right there by Brandon Atchison. He's had a really special year so far for us. Forcing a punt. Darby's just trying to get what he can get right there. Getting the ball back to our offense. Here you can see Casey sprint out. They cover him up pretty well, and the big guy decides to run the football, which was pretty good. He's one guy. He's tough to bring down. It's not. as the head coach, you don't really love your big-time quarterback running the football like that, but he did it with some success.
We kind of tagged him on the radio, maybe dual threat now, Casey.
That's right,
Ford,
that's right. Here we are, we attempted we felt like we'd try our fake punt that we've been working on. It did not work out. I think we give Chase the option there to run it. He could have punted. He's a rugby-style punter. Run it, he could keep it, and he could punt it, run it, or throw it. And he felt like he had it there, and they made a play on it. That's a good break on the ball by Carey. Starting to operate a little bit offensively. Here we are. Here we are back on offense. Little screen game. This is flipping the field. This is a great play by our entire offense. A great run by Jake Clark. Look at that downfield blocking by Crenshaw right there, burying the guy. That'll be on the highlight video that we'll show this week. That's what we buy into.
That's
These
right.
kids playing together as a unit. You can see he's fired up about that.
You know, as we move into the fourth quarter, Coach, one of the things, Jacob Clark, he's really running a lot more physical this year.
Yeah, he really is, and I think, really, truthfully, that run last week against Fowler Christian opened his eyes to his ability to do that, and so he's kind of bought into that.
So moving into the fourth quarter, just scored again. The lead is out there, but you never can kind of rest easy until the clock reads all zero.
That's exactly right.
Especially with these guys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There never was their comfort felt until the buzzer sound, and so because they're so dangerous. But
well, that's right, and you have to credit head coach Quentin Lewis over there at Rickards High School. When these guys were down early, they could have just quit, but that's a testament to him getting these guys to buy into his program, and give them a lot of credit for fighting to the very end.
That's right. They were put in a situation where they were on a bus for 15 hours.
That's right.
Stayed in a hotel and came down here with no fan support because of the distance and put in a tough situation. But there's Cam making a great play. Boy, steps out on the floor. But love his effort. Love the way that we're operating offensively here, protecting our quarterback. It's like we talked to our offensive line about. If you give that quarterback a chance, he's going to be able to make the throw. So what a special play that was. And then we cap it off here with a little quarterback sneak for a touchdown.
You got a 6'5" guy and you're a yard out. That's a pretty good play.
Yeah.
Pretty safe call right there. Well, that's going to extend the lead out here now 30-8. And the clock really becoming the enemy now of Rickards High School.
Yeah, at this point, we just feel like we've got to get stops, and then when we have the football, we got to work the clock down and run the football and just use the lead and the clock and operate from there. We were able to get some guys in. Well, there's Clay Ferguson. That guy busts his tail every day in practice for these opportunities, and I'm so excited to see him get in there and make a play because he's one of our guys that works on scout team. To have a senior jump out there on the scout team just says a lot. And Clay Ferguson has done great for us.
Actually, I've had Clay in class, and just you'll not find a finer young man.
That's right, and we're excited about getting Lucas Bowman some carries. He's a sophomore back who's going to have a chance to be pretty special, and what a neat opportunity to score a varsity touchdown as a sophomore in front of a crowd like that.
So that was in the lead now, 37-8, and. It's going to be another special night here at Tiger Stadium. A lot of happy Tigers on the sidelines. And a good crowd Friday night, another good crowd, and it's always exciting to play in this stadium.
Yeah, we talk about a lot how fortunate we are to have such a great atmosphere on a Friday night, and these kids, they understand that. But, I tell you what, that's a nice win for our program. That's a good program we beat, and we talked to our kids about that all week, that this isn't just some team out of Florida that just couldn't find a game. This is a big-time program, and so we're excited about how we finished.
Well, there you have it. The Tigers go to 3-0 on the season with a 37-8 victory over Rickards High School. We'll be back in just a moment to preview next week's game against Fort Smith Southside. You're watching the Tiger Football Report. Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. All right, Coach, the non-conference season of the schedule's over and 7A West play opens this week. And a familiar opponent, Jeff Williams will be bringing the Fort Smith Southside Rebels here to Tiger Stadium. Talk about the Rebels.
Well, we've been in there studying their film all day, and we're very impressed with what they do. Their Southside is what they've been for years. They're going to be big up front, and they're going to run the football, play action pass you, and do it well. Defensively, they're going to fly around and do some things. They're so big up front, and that's something we're going to have to work through because our defensive line is just not big, but they're quick, and we're going to have to do some stuff and work through that. But I think Southside's sitting at 2-1. It's a good football program, very well coached, so our kids better get ready.
All right. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck this week as the Bentonville Tigers open conference play in the 7A West.
Thank you.
And want to thank you, as always, for joining us here each week on the Tiger Football Report, where we take you inside of Bentonville Tiger football. So long, everyone.